All right, welcome
Cool.
to Battle Brothers Podcast. I'm your host, Aaron, and join me today is Davis and Mark Hurtle, or Hortel, as the internet has dubbed him. We call him Gator.
Hortel, that's a new one. Usually it's Hurdle or Hertel.
Hertel, yeah. Well, the internet is bad at that. So basically, what we're going to be doing here, yes, we are another 40K podcast, if there's not enough of them. But we are a close group of friends on the East Coast, where I think the East Coast is amongst the best meta. And we are a very large gaming group. We just came off of we had our Battle Brothers GT in November, and we just came off of a team tournament. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit today, ATC North Carolina. But first, Hobby Corner. What do you guys have on your hobby shelves currently that you're working on, Davis?
Oh man, I've got some World Eater stuff, or not World Eaters, Word Bearer stuff, and I just printed 10 Emperor's Children's Terminators.
Okay,
So I'll start painting those up tomorrow.
nice. Mark?
Gonna be
Nice,
sweet.
nice, nice. Oh, I've got a little bit of Jack and I got a little bit of shit. Just a little bit, just a little bit. I At the moment I've got everything painted that I need painted. We'll see how Guard and Eldar shake up the meta, but at the moment I've got everything done.
You still rocking? You're still rocking Death Watch, I'm assuming, for your tournament
Yeah,
stuff.
for
Okay.
singles I'm going to be still doing Death Watch. I mean I've got tons of unpainted stuff. I'm just not working on any of them.
Yeah. Well, that's like me. I've got tons of unpainted stuff. Just getting back into the hobby after a 5-year hiatus, but I've got Assault Intercessors because I thought my list was gonna be better than yours, Mark, at the last GT, and I got the wooden spoon. So that was great. Well, at least my team
No,
did.
your team got the wooden
My
spoon,
my
and that's
team
only
did.
because the team that actually came in last decided to book it.
That makes me feel much better. Thanks. I appreciate it. So team events. Let's discuss them a little bit. Why we like them. I enjoy them because I think the game pressure is a lot less than singles. You having is the aliens coming through over there with your?
No, I changed the browser and it was just a
uh,
fucking white light.
yeah.
Light mode.
The I like the dynamic of it. I feel like the games aren't as stressful. You get to kind of choose your matchup if you really don't want to play. Like I didn't want to play Death Guard at all. I got to avoid all of that. Um, you just get to kind of pick and choose your matchups. That's why I personally like it. Why do you guys like it?
I enjoy just hanging out with the guys. It's I wouldn't say there's less stressful because sometimes you actually have to be more. Yeah, you can't give up as many points as you can in a singles game because you've got every point counts. You have to basically crush your opponent as much as possible. In the singles game, it's just like, yeah, whatever. I'm already winning. You score whatever. We can call it a game. But in a teams game, you've got to push for every point.
Yeah. What about you, Davis?
Yeah, same. I mean, it's hard to call it less stressful, especially when, like what Mark just said, it's you can't give up any points. In a singles game, yeah, usually I don't really care if my opponent says, "Hey, I need to get X amount of points to get best whatever." We could usually work that out, or I don't usually let people not take stuff back. But in teams games, it's impossible to let that slide because you never know what your team is getting in points. So
Right.
you may be that breaking point. You may be that 11-9 or that 12-8 that brings you over to the 55 points needed. So it's
It may
hard
just be
to
because I got the wooden spoon, so maybe that's why I just was having fun.
yeah. I mean, it's hard to you still want to have good games. You still want to be friendly and be cordial and not be an asshole. But it's also hard to let people slide on stuff that you normally would.
I will say this is my first team event since, gosh, ATC. Oof, it's been a while, Davis. 10 years ago maybe was my last ATC, and I did like that. I didn't, usually you play that one jerk once per tournament. I didn't have any. All my games were great. I had great opponents. Had a lot of fun. Um, so that brings us to what your strategies are. I guess I'm not a captain, so I was thrown out first a lot because I had a well-rounded list. I didn't tailor my list to a certain. I mean, I was playing pretty much the same thing you are, Mark. The same thing I play at every tournament. I know some people tailor their stuff to anti-infantry. Some people have all around. What are your guys' strategy, Davis? We'll start with you. When you make a list for it, or when you pair up people.
Well, usually Mark and I are the ones who do the pairings. I learned how to do pairings from Austin. Um,
Another battle brother, great battle brother.
yeah, Austin Wingfield, sweet dude, love him to death. So my pairing, I guess, ideology is really simple. You walk into a table, and usually we have a few lists that we know are defenders. And you walk up and say, hey, give me a list of the stuff you don't want to play. And we try our best to not have that person play that list. Now, it doesn't always happen. Some people have to fall on a sword. But the good thing about our team is that no matter who we throw out, usually we can guarantee they're going to get, 8, 9 points if a loss.
I will say
It's
I didn't
very
go
rare.
zero at all. I didn't go zero at all. So
Yeah, it's very rare, unless you just shit happens in a game, right? It's very rare that anybody on our team gets 20 owed.
I will
So
say day two, obviously my team was not in the running. We had a new player on there, which I actually liked. This was his first major GT, and he did great. But I will say game two, I was kind of picking matchups that I knew were bad for me, but I didn't like Drukhari. I haven't played Drukhari in 10th edition. I wanted to see what they were all about. So I knew I was going to lose going into it probably. But I did enjoy that aspect. I feel like at team events, you get to play stuff that's not necessarily meta all the time because you have to have 5 different army lists or 8 if you're playing an 8 man. So you get paired into a lot of matchups that you wouldn't normally play at a GT where I mean, Mark LVO champ. If you guys weren't aware, right here. I mean, how many Space Marine lists were people playing? I mean, some people were playing 2, 3, 4 games of Space Marines. So with the
There were a
team, you
lot of
don't get
Space
that.
Marines.
Right. Mark, what are some of your strategies when you go into it when you're making lists and pairings?
Well, it all depends because like you have to look at like what your opponents are bringing, and you have to look at like what you've brought too. So basically, like what we did at ATC last year, which I don't think will work this year, is we brought a just a ton of like chunky lists. It's like we had like we had a triple land rare list. Ed was on triple land rare too, right? Yeah, we had two triple land rare lists. We had like triple Lord Skulls. We have like Necrons reviving, and we have like a crazy orc list with like just a bunch of buggies and like choppas. But like we were trying to just be like, hey, you can deal with like one of our lists, maybe two of them, but the other three are just gonna raffle stomp you.
Right.
But that was what we tried to do last year. I don't think it'll work this year, especially with the way they're doing the missions and terrain. So we're not like trying to get like a bunch of like we're not to rethink our entire theory.
Right. I think for someone that's just getting back, I have one faction, and that's Space Marines right now. It can be hard to find a team for a guy like me because back in the day, you could play one person could play Black Templar, one person could play Space Marines, and now they've changed that where you get Space Marines and you make it a Blood Angels player in there as well. So it's tough. Like I'm thinking about starting another faction just so I can get on a team easily because I do enjoy it, and that's how I get better is playing games. I think I'm still secured. I mean, I did all right day one against Ernie. A 19 won him. Fun game. Another battle brother out of I believe he lives in Florida now. The guy's all over the place. But I mean, it's just a great time overall. I enjoy team events. It's definitely a lot of. I get where the stress comes from, and maybe I didn't experience that because I went in. I mean, you guys stood a chance of winning the thing, but I didn't. I mean, my team didn't. But it was a great time. I enjoyed, hanging out and everything like that. So,
Yeah, as long as you learn it.
yeah, and that's the thing about these tournaments is, I mean, like I said, we had Josh on our team. He's playing Death Guard, and I mean, the guy was winning games, and he was just having fun. And I think day one he was like, "Oh yeah, we just have to do this." So I was like, "Buddy, we're with like world champions here. We're I mean, I appreciate your optimism, and I want you to get as many points you can." And by the end, I mean, he was just having fun, and he fit right in. And that's the whole thing about Battle Brothers and other gaming clubs is, I mean, he was like, "Oh, I don't have a team. I threw in my jersey, my extra jersey." I said, "No, you're a Battle Brother now." And that's the cool thing about our club, and a lot of clubs that we talk to is some clubs they want you to try out and everything. We're just a community. I mean, we've got the best players in 40K, and we've got the worst players in 40K, and we all help each other out and have a good time. Especially when we're practicing. I mean, I've practiced with both of you guys, and you've pretty much played yourself walking me through it. So I think it's important to have that community, and that's what we hope to bring with this podcast and with the community that we're building here. So noticeable matchups that you guys had at this ATC North Carolina. So ATC North Carolina was last weekend. It was a 5-man tournament in North Carolina at another Battle Brother Juice's place. Lots of drinking, lots of having fun. But it's on the ATC circuit. It's getting you ready for ATC. The winner got a golden ticket to Worlds, and the second place I think got the ATC golden ticket, so they go for free. So Davis, starting with you, what were some notable matchups that you had that you can remember off the top of your head that was just like, man, this was a really good game and it got me thinking, or just an opponent that was a lot of fun?
All 5 of my games were great. I played Orcs, played CSM, I played Blood Angels, Tyranids. First opponent was Steve Soroka, good dude, X4. First time we've ever played. We've talked a while though. I had a great game. I ended up, I think I won 18-2. Second game, for the life of me, I can't remember the team name.
That's
But I
usually how it
played,
goes. It all blurs to me.
yeah. Saturday was rough, man. Friday was a party, and then Saturday was just rough. Uh, we played a guy. I played an orc list. He had 30 flash kits, which was very frustrating. I had an all melee CSM army, and me running across open fields against 30 flash kits was wild. I still pulled a win. It was a closer game. I think it was a 15-5.
Okay.
Third game was against Larry Oliver, another battle brother. Awesome dude. We've been friends a long time. We had a great game. He won. It was one of those games where if I went first, it changes the game. Uh, but he had a pretty good game. We always have good games. Um, Game 4 was against Brad Chester. This game was hilarious. I think the game changes. I failed a 4-inch charge, rerollable.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's like me. Gilliman died 4 times and didn't come up at all. I rolled ones every time.
yeah,
You
so
score well better.
you just I rolled a 3 to a 2 on a 4-inch charge, and then I had 10 Legionnaires, with their dicks in the wind with a Lord.
Yep.
And that kind of sealed it. You lose that much in a turn, it's hard to come back.
Yep.
And then game 5, I played for another friend of mine, David Penfold. Similar list. I was running Creations of Bile. Um, Mine had a little bit more shooty. He failed a bunch of charges he should have made, and it solidified the game for me. All in all, great event. We played great teams. Our team was great. I'll let Mark go over his games, but
Yeah, you
we didn't.
guys were one of the favored to win. Um, in
Yeah,
my
we had some
opinion,
weird ties. We
yeah.
had some ties that probably shouldn't have been ties. We went down with a fun team. We had our friend that came over that flew over from Hungary to play.
Yeah, we're international here at Battle Brothers. We have a guy from
Yeah,
Hungary on our team, Mate.
and Canada. We have a Canadian and
We do,
a
yeah, yeah. Max Dubois. Is
yeah,
Max
Max
Dubois?
Dubois
Yep.
of the Canadian Dubois. So, um, fun team. It was really just have the boys over, hang out. We all agreed that we would try our best and we would try to win. But if we didn't, we didn't. Our main, I guess, our main goal is to back ATC in Tennessee.
I hope you guys do
Yeah,
it. I hope
and
you guys do it.
We've already started planning. I won't divulge any information on here for tactics or pairing or a list, but
They're listening to this first episode, just waiting for your secrets.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
they're lining
they're all
up.
coming for us.
But yeah, I think we have a good team. It's going to be the main team from last week or last year. Myself, Mark, Mike Taylor, great dude. Eric Hoger, another great guy, and we have Ed Appel, which has been on our team
Yeah,
for a while. So
he's a
I'm looking
beast.
forward to it.
Yeah, he played a practice game against me in right before ATC North Carolina there at the event. He was like, "You want to play?" And I was like, "Oh, guard. Well, I got to." And yep, he did the basic good game that Juice likes to do when he beat you. But it was good. Mark, what about you? You want to go over some of your
Yeah,
matchups?
I played against CSM Christians of Bile round 1. It was a good game. My list does really well against melee lists, melee heavy lists. Those are double land raiders with Gilliman. They don't like Bailists do not like Land Raiders. So I was able to beat that 15-5. I had a great game round two against World Leaders. Almost got that one. It was close to 20-0, but he was able to get a huge swing by getting Angron back on the last turn and getting the secret objective. So that was a huge swing. He also got, yeah, it was a huge swing because he also got to destroy a Land Raider with bring it down. So he was able to kill Land Raider and get 24 points on that. Round three was against the see that was Larry's team, right? Lobsters.
Round three was Larry's.
Yeah, so I was against a good guy, Jason from Jason Smith from the Lobsters with his orcs. We played table one with the. I was the first person to pick not the ritual against him, so we had a great game, a really fun game. Because we did the supply drop instead of the ritual, so it was actually more entertaining. I was able to crush that one. Then we played another team. I played Orcs again. This one was Tactical Brigade again. Yeah, it was Tactical Brigade. All the Orcs were Tactical Brigade, of course. I was able to beat that one again. And then last round, I was against Bridgehead Guard. That one was a lot harder. Those guys hit really hard. They kill a lot of things. They tumble around the board. But that one was a tie. That was a good game too.
Yeah. Yeah. Same for me. I mean, I know we came in second to last, but two of our matchups were top teams. First team we played Blackwater game. I played our good buddy Ernie. Round one, I was like, I want to play this guy. He's my buddy. I ended up 19-1 in him. He was playing Leagues of Votan, not because I'm a better player than him. He literally was called pretty much last minute saying, "Hey, these people need a team." He flew up from Florida and joined these guys. And he didn't know some of his rules, and we just had a great time. We were just like when I play any of you guys, just local. My only win, 19-1 against him. Then we played Keelhog Gaming, which I knew they were going to crush us. One of the players was a Death Card player. I played at the Battle Brothers GT, and he decimated me. And he was he was my hardest matchup at that event. I went 3-2 at that event, and he was my major loss. But I played Ronnie, who's playing Votan again. Ernie was playing Votan, then I got paired into Votan again. He beat me. He was running a slightly different list than Ernie. That you can blame dice rolls, but I'm not like that. He outplayed me. So they were a really good team, and then I got paired in Optimal Math, which I think they came in second place. Yeah, so uh, that was our third loss. I played Gabe Connor. That was probably a memorable game. He beat me, but he was playing the Imperial Knights with the three big knights and a bunch of dogs, and he didn't realize I had the Graf Centurions, which are my MVP often. Everybody takes the last ones. Basically put 15 wounds on a knight from Grav guys, and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, these are three Grav guys." He goes, "Oh, I thought they were the last cannon guys." I was like, "I went over the list. I told you they were Grav. I think they underestimate them." Brought him down for assassinate and mark for death because he didn't think I was going to do it. Sterngard helped a little bit with that, and then I played Green Dragon. Great team, great group of guys. I played Anthony, who's playing Drukari. That was the matchup I was telling you about where I knew I wasn't going to win. I wanted to play this Drukari player, and like I said, I'm still not familiar with all the armies, but the little Batwing girls, they did some damage as well as the witches and everything. But I learned a lot from that game. I learned what not to charge into turn one. It was great. And then my last game was against local Talon X4. It was against a guy named Philip. He was playing Gene Stealer Cult, and that was a bloodbath. It came down to just couldn't get enough of his units, and he couldn't get enough of my units, but he just did better on secondary. So overall, pretty memorable time. Learned a lot. Um, Before we get into the winning teams, or the winning team list, because we'll go over those briefly. Um, what did you enjoy about this tournament? And JD from Away Games is a friend of ours. He puts on a heck of an event. I love all his events. But what are some things that you wish were done differently? I know I hate that we have to talk about that, but it's important. That's how we learn. So Davis, what did you enjoy about ATC North Carolina? Um, besides the drinking and karaoke and all that, the actual games, and then what would you do different?
I mean, I like I said before, I enjoy the team things, especially the ATC stuff, because we can all get together and hang out. Especially as a group, it's rare that we get all the main core group of friends from the Battle Brothers team um, in one place. We're all adults, we all have lives, so um, that's pretty much why I do the team events. Is you can go hang out with the boys, play some Warhammer. Um, it's hard to say what you would change because I run events too, not as obviously not as much as JD, but I've been running events for over 10 years now, and it's always easy to say what you would change, in the afterthought.
Right.
But JD runs great events.
He does.
Yeah, his stuff's clean. It's down to he's got it down to a science now. You know, everybody always wants more space. You want to be able to get in between each table and have to walk around the whole table. That's really the only.
I,
But
and
that's
I,
a
I,
that's
I
that's a
think we have
complaint I know
plenty
over
of
time.
space. I mean, I
Yeah,
really do.
we did. We had plenty of space. It's hard to say what I would change because I love going down to Juice's golf resort.
Yep.
I love the area. I love the food. I love the drinks. The workers they have. Shout out to Emily and Autumn. The bartenders that were there.
Oh yeah, yeah. They keep you. I think that's what I enjoy most about that place. We'll be back there. It's October this year, correct? Usually it's Veterans Day weekend, but we changed the dates for our Battle Brothers GT.
Yeah, we have one in June or July. The
Okay.
North Carolina Open. It'll be in the same spot, and then
Okay.
yeah, we have. I can't remember. I think it's the second or third weekend in October.
Yeah, we'll
Uh,
we'll we'll get that announced well in advance.
yeah, and once the tickets go up, we'll make sure that we shout it out in the podcast. But yeah, I can't say I would change much. Like I said, we've been doing the tournaments there for a couple years now, both singles and teams, and they've always gone out flawlessly. No real drama, no cheating accusations.
Yeah, I didn't hear any of that. We even had a
No,
song. One team sang a song for us. The Lobsters. We'll
yeah,
give them a shout out. I think next year, Jay Cox and I on the way home, we want to do Team Batter Brothers Taylor's version, and we want to do a Taylor Swift song to give them a run for their money. And we think JD would give us the Spirit Award just to spite them. Uh,
probably. Yeah,
but I
at
mean,
this point,
Probably.
the Spirit Award is just for the lobsters.
yeah,
So
yeah. Dusty gets into it. He's probably already got his outfit for next year.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Mark, things you enjoyed about ATC North Carolina, and things if you would change anything.
Mainly just hanging out with the boys for the most part. That's teams is such a different animal than like singles. It's just like because you got to be with like your team and hanging out with them, hanging out with the other teams as well, just like chatting around. But like I wouldn't really change much. I think that JD runs his events very well. I don't think there's much I would advise to change on it or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I feel the same way. The only thing that was brought up that some people were talking about is I actually liked it where the way it worked is you threw out your defender, they threw out the same way ATC works, but for you don't know, you throw out a defender, they throw out two attackers, and vice versa, and you basically the defender gets to pick between the two attackers, whatever. The thing that was different is you rolled off, one person chose the layout, and then the other person got to choose the mission based on that layout. Um, people wanted everybody to play the same mission. I actually liked every table playing the same mission for that round. I actually like the tactics of choosing. I think it adds a new element to. I mean, layout for my list. We were talking about this. Mark is very important. I have two land raiders running around. It's hard to get around some of those tables. So I want to choose a layout. I don't care what the mission is really, because I'm going to fight for primary no matter what. Where some people may like, well, I hate this mission. I want this mission. So I actually like that aspect. I think it was done a little differently than usual, and I thought it was a good difference.
Yeah, this is different than usual because most of the time in past tournaments, you always have like when everyone's playing on the same mission, there's always going to be like a couple tables where it's just like completely open because they're not designed for that layout, and so that really screws up the It really you want to bring a really big shooting list, but it doesn't pair well into other things. It's just best. I like it better this way because this way you can actually have like different missions based on the layout.
Right.
instead of having like the same mission and then like it doesn't work with the layout. And you just all of a sudden have like Tau shooting gallery against like a melee army. It's just like, well, I got 20 out.
I'm just glad I didn't have to play any of the vanishing objectives. I hate those with a passion. And actually, my last game, they misplaced the layout card, and my opponent was like, "What is it? Oh, we're doing whatever table doesn't have that." We just did. I think it was Purge the Foe, but I like that aspect. I think it adds a whole new thing into to these teams. So we'll go ahead and get into the winning team. I've got the list pulled up here, and I don't know a lot about the new stuff because obviously I'm just getting back into the whole 40K scene. But Jim Wargaming won. And the first list we're going to go over is Austin Johnson. He was running Gene Stealer Cult. He was running the Biosanctic Blood Surge. He's running, looks like, 3 Abominants, and I'll put the list up in the description for each of these. 3 Abominants, one with Predatory Instincts and one with Alien Majesty. Power Sledgehammers, Patriarch with the Biomorph Adaptation. 2 units of Reductus Saboteurs, 2 Goliath Trucks, all the Aberrants, 2 10-mans and a 5-man, unit of Ridge Runners, and 2 units of Hybrid Metamorphs, and 3 units of Pure Strain Gene Stealers, one being 10. That's a lot of Gene Stealer stuff. I mean, I played against Gene Stealers. A lot of that stuff comes back. I didn't play against any list that had a lot of Gene Stealers, but obviously he did well with it. Um, any comments? Did any of you guys play Jim?
We didn't play that. We didn't play the
We
winning
played
team.
one of them, but we didn't play that one though.
Okay. Um, any comments on that list? Do you guys have any idea what it does, or just
It's a
something?
bunch of melee.
Yeah,
It hits really
it's
hard.
just a chunky list. Yeah, Abominants are fucking monstrous.
Yeah,
Or
I know.
Hits really hard.
Aberrants.
Moves fast.
And I would say when I was playing Anthony, he was playing Drukari. I was telling him, he goes, "Nah, just kind of wing it." And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna kind of wing it too because I have no idea what some of these units do." Um, second one was Conan Jennings. He was playing Space Marines. Iron Storm. He's playing Lieutenant with Combi with Master of Machine War, Calgar, and Rabute Gilliman. And it's Intercessor Squad. 1, 2, 3 Ballistic Dreadnoughts, a unit of Company Heroes and Cursors, Scout Squad, Storm Speeder, Hammer Strike, Vindicator, Vindicator, Vindicator. So, Medalist. Um, Vindicator seemed to be the hotness still. Um, Mark and I have opinions about the Vindicators, but and I'm not that good. I just have that opinion, not because Mark has it. I just rolled it out, but I mean they're doing well in the meta.
Still not a big fan of it. I mean, they're great in the Iron Storm thing, but I'm still not a huge fan of them in Space Marine lists. They're
They're a
great in CSM.
casino cannon. I mean, yeah. Oh, CS. Yeah, I know. I played against you in CSM. What are different? What's the difference between them and CSM and?
Dark
Dark
packs.
dark packs.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Makes
You,
sense.
you you roll 2 6s, and now you have 4 hits. So
Yep.
Okay.
it changes the math a little bit. Sometimes you spike, you know.
Yeah. They're gonna continue to be in the meta though, so it's something I guess to tailor your list for. I'm sure when we go back to singles, all of them are going to be that, or the 2 Land Raider guys still holding on. Well, I guess 1 Land Raider guy since Mark's going to be going back to Death Watch because he had good luck with that. David was running Tyranids. I don't know what detachment this is. I guess Invasion. Or yeah, Invasion Fleet. Okay, he's running the Turbigon, Mama Bug, Wing Hive Tyrant. The Turbigon had adaptive biology. Unit of Gargoyles, 4 units of Termagants, Biovores, 3 Exocrines, 2 Lictors, 2 Tyrannofex, and 2 Venom Throats. So a lot of anti-tank and a lot of just in-your-face stuff. I haven't played the Turbigon this edition. Is it still spitting out baby bugs? Is that still
Yeah, I
its
think he
thing?
gets like loan op too. Well, I think some of the babies are in front of it. I believe.
Can they
One of the things is hard to
can they
kill.
still create them, or did they do away with that this
I
edition?
don't remember.
Yeah, I know one edition you had to have reinforcement points, and it just kind of ruined the whole thing.
No, you don't need to do that anymore. But I can look up what Turbigon does.
Yeah. Uh, then there's Folger, who is running Custodes, which I've been talking a lot about them. I really like this list. It's the I believe this is the solar.
Yeah, the Dreadnought
He,
one.
yep,
Yeah, it's a dreadnought
yep.
list. It's a
Blade
fucking
Champ. Oh,
it's a
dude,
banger.
it's wicked,
It's a banger.
and
Yeah.
you don't realize it's wicked until you play it or see it in action. But he's running a little different than the ones I was seeing. But he's running the Blade Champion on there instead of two of the dreadnoughts. But he's running the Blade Champion with the Talisman, Telemon with the Augury uplink, two grav tanks, unit of custodian wardens, two units of prosecutors. Oh, two. He's running triple Telemon. Okay, two more Telemons and three venerable contemptor dreadnoughts. I mean that thing's going to be a beast until they. I mean I don't want them to nerf it. I think it's awesome. I hate when they just nerf stuff, take a big nerf bat to it, but that thing's wicked. The only thing I worry about playing Custodius is once you lose a model, you're down. But it's hard to kill those things 2 up, 4 up. I believe one of them has a 5 up feel no pain, 6 up, or yeah, 5 up feel no pain. I think you can give one of the what is it that you can give Telemon? He gets something.
I think they automatically get -1 damage, but
That
then they give them a 5 feel pain, and one of them the character.
yeah, that's what it
Little
is.
Yeah.
advancement.
And they have a strat for -1 damage and the contemptor stand back up.
Yeah,
So
and
it's a
it
very hard list to chew through.
yeah, and I mean you're gonna basically pick one target a turn and try to take it out. And then last but not least is Garrett. He's running AdMech, which Gator will know a lot about. He's running
Yeah.
the Skitari Hunter cohort. He's running three Skitari Marshals, unit of Scatros, 2 units of Rangers, 3 units of Vanguard, 4 units of Vanguard, and then 3 Iron Striders with the last cannons to the last chickens, 2 Sky Stalkers, 3 units of Infiltrators, 3 Rust Stalkers. So common AdMech lists, just a lot of shooting. So that was the winning team. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think I know someone's got to get to bed over there, to work. We're recording this
Yeah.
late at night because of me. That's my fault driving back from Virginia back to Pennsylvania. But just to touch on some upcoming events that some of the Battle Brothers will be at, we got Waterloo GT coming up. I think you're going to that, Gator. You going to that,
I am.
Davis?
Yeah, I think we both are.
Okay, yeah, I was going to go, but I had childcare issues. Adepticon, I know some of the Battle Brothers are talking about going. So hopefully we can get a report for that when Adepticon. They moved it to Milwaukee this year, so it added a little bit of trip to some people. So I think some people are passing on that. And then my next event will be Battle to End Alzheimer's, which is going to be a great time. I believe you're judging that, Davis. And
Yeah, yeah. I'm the head judge. Well, JD now would be head judging it, and we have 3 other judges that would help us. We're hoping to get um max it out. We have about, I think it's 200 tickets total.
yeah, and that's in Western Maryland, Havre de Grace, if I'm saying that right. One of our buddies, JC, puts that on. It is a great charity tournament. He raises a lot of money with that. He actually won a couple of awards, one from GW this year for Warhammer Hero, and one from LVO this year. So if you are in the area, definitely check that out. It's Battle to End Alzheimer's. It's gonna be a good GT. It's a golden ticket event too, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And if you can't make the event, you still want to donate or buy raffle tickets. We have raffle tickets for professionally painted armies and models, and we had we had a couple of Night Titans last time. Really pretty Primarchs and all kinds of stuff. So if you still want to donate or buy raffles to go to the cause, you can message any of us here on the podcast or reach out to JC directly.
Yep, and I'll in the description of the YouTube. If you're listening to this through the podcast, that was the thing I wanted to say is subscribe to our YouTube. Once we get we're brand new, we're just starting this thing, but we get 50 subscribers, we can start going live and start doing some battle reports for you guys. That's in the future. But I'll post in the description the links to that as well. So thanks guys for joining me. I think we're going to try to make this a bi-weekly thing. I think a week's a little much. At least right now. So a bi-weekly thing. So we'll probably be coming off of Waterloo GT, and hopefully one of you will be the winner. So
Maybe.
I don't
Maybe.
know. It's going to be
Lot, lot,
Waterloo GT is in Mechanicsville, Virginia, near Richmond. I've
mhm.
actually stopped in there to buy a Codex one time. It's a newer store, I think it is. So I think it's gonna be a mixture of a lot of local talent and a lot of heavy hitters. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Every once in a while, you get a local guy that just blows you out of the water, and you're like, what? But I
Yeah,
appreciate you guys joining me. Oh, go ahead.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be
lot of
on.
mingers there.
Yeah, yeah. So, but like we said before, I mean, just because I'm just getting back. I feel like a beginner all over again. I've been playing since fourth edition. I learn more from my losses than I do my wins. So I think fourth edition, 2005. It was either third or fourth. But anyways, I appreciate you guys joining me. We'll see y'all next time.
All right, bud. Appreciate
Peace.
it.
Yep. Take care.